What's good, y'all? It's your boy Havoc with Final Round. We kind of got a W for Deontay Wilder. You know, I've been pretty steadfast in my prediction for this fight, and I'm still going to hold on to it. Not that it's a hard prediction in my opinion, but I do kind of give Wilder a W this past week, man. There's something off with Tyson Fury. You know, I saw him in his press conference yesterday, the virtual press conference. And obviously I kind of have two topics of discussion I want to talk about today. Is Tyson Fury mentally prepared for this fight? And will Deontay Wilder knock him out? And once again, you guys, like, I've been pretty consistent in who I think is going to win this fight, and I think I'm going to stay. Well, I don't think, I know who I'm going to pick for this fight. But I'm very concerned to a certain degree, because one of the things I assess before making a prediction before a fight is the fighter's mentality. Are they being consistent with who they usually are in other fights? You know, are they confident? And if they're saying things that make them seem confident, do they believe in it? Does it seem like what they're saying is believable and they believe in it themselves? And there was something off about Tyson Fury's energy yesterday. His vibe was not the same. And I don't want to read too much into this shit, right? Because at the end of the day, the better boxer will win, in my opinion. But don't quote me word for word. I kind of heard in the press conference the female reporter ask a question. How do you see this fight going down, Tyson Fury? You predicted it a certain way in the second fight. How do you see this fight going down? And he says, you know what? Deontay Wilder can knock me out, or I can knock Deontay Wilder out. And I was like, hold up, red flag, red fucking flag. Did this man just say Deontay Wilder can knock him out? And you gotta pause right there. Now, once again, I don't know why he's saying that specifically. I don't know where that's coming from, but I'm not gonna gloss over it, because to me that was like a Freudian slip. You don't know what a Freudian slip? Go fucking Google it. It was a Freudian slip. This man has been very confident, even in the first fight where he got knocked down multiple times, was very confident in saying he was going to beat Wilder, and in the second fight he predicted it pretty much to a T with the exception of the round. I'm gonna beat this man. He's not better than me. I can literally get up off the couch and beat him. If I let a guy like this with no skill beat me, then I'm not worth anything as a boxer. And then the second fight he comes in and says, you know what? I'm gonna knock this dude out. I'm gonna TKO him. Makes it happen. Very confident. But all of a sudden now he's saying, you know what? Deontay Wilder could knock me out, or I can knock him out. What the fuck? Huh? Where is that coming from? Like I said, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I do like to get a understanding of where the fighter's at mentally before the fight. Just like the Anthony Joshua fight. I could tell you why this man was coming in with the wrong game plan, because he was hinting towards it the whole time in these press conferences and interviews. You know, oh, I'm slimming down. I'm the lightest I've ever been. You know, I'm gonna go 12 rounds. I'm gonna try to outbox this guy. And I'm like, dude, hold up, what? You gonna try to outbox one of the best pound for pound boxers? How do you think that's gonna work out for you? So that's why I was able to make my prediction. This is a little bit different, right? A little bit different circumstances here. But I felt like that was a little bit of a Freudian slip by Tyson Fury. Why aren't you confident? Why are you saying this man could possibly knock you out when you were saying in the past two fights, this man can't fuck with you? Why? You see what I'm saying here? There's something off. Once again, I'm gonna stay with my prediction. And you know, for you Wilder fans, I'll give you the W for this. I'll give you the W. That's kind of concerning to me. There's something just not right with that. I keep it real here, you guys. I keep it 100. I try to keep it boxing. I understand that, you know, Wilder fans, they don't want to hear a different narrative than their guy was cheated, or that their guy is not a great boxer, or he's going to lose this fight. I mean, I was on, I think it was like Blood's panel. You know, I was listening into the conversation, and you know, I expressed my opinion. I'm just strictly talking boxing on why I think Fury's going to win. And he booted me out the panel. It's like, bro, I'm just talking boxing. I'm expressing my opinion. Like, what the fuck are we here for if you can't even express your opinion? If you gonna boot me off the panel, you just pushing a narrative. And that's the last motherfucking thing we need. That's the last thing we need, you guys. Especially in the sport of boxing, it's already fucking corrupt. You know, I don't hate Wilder. I'm a black man myself, and I want there to be an American heavyweight champ. You know, did I lose a little bit of respect for him for the way he handled his loss in the second fight with Fury? Yeah, I did. You know, but before that, I was like, this dude, you know, I'm rooting for him. His story was amazing, and you know, no, he may have not been my favorite boxer to watch in terms of his technique, but I supported him. He seemed like a good dude, and I'm not saying he ain't. But the way he handled that loss just showed a lack of character, man, and a lack of wanting to take responsibility as a man. You know, it's one thing to make an excuse or two and be like, you know, I just wasn't feeling it that night. I had an injury I was coming in with. But to go to these crazy extremes, my trainer spiked my drink. How you gonna put that man, Mark Breland, down like that? He saved your life. I understand if you wanna move on from your trainer, that's cool, man. But to trash him on the way out when he helped you get to the top? Come on, bro. You know, talking about gypsy voodoo, he put a spell on you or some shit. You know, the gloves were tainted. And look, I'm willing to listen to all that, but you gotta present some evidence, like hardcore evidence, where they're bringing this shit to trial in court, and it's real. If you can't do that, I can't entertain it. All it is a narrative. I get up on this pedal, they cut me off. He cuts me off with the pedal. I'm like, how is this making the sport better? For me, man, if you're coming for this channel for the narrative, this ain't it. I just talk boxing, strictly what I see. I'm not always gonna be 100 in my predictions, y'all. I'm not always gonna be right. But at least you know I'm coming with the most honest assessment, okay? I pick fights based off of styles, based off the stylistic matchup, the techniques, the skills of the fighters, and the mentality going in. That's how I pick fights. And that's as real as it can get. And I won't always be right, but at least you can come with the knowledge you have if you listen to this video or you watch my videos, and you can take what I say and add it to your wealth of knowledge and come up with an even better prediction than me. Maybe you know shit I don't. But that's what I'm here for. I'm giving you a different perspective, and I'm giving you an honest perspective. And it may not be what you want to hear because you're a fan of a certain fighter or your emotions are tied up in it, but I keep it real, man. And at the end of the day, Tyson Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder, you guys. It doesn't take a fucking genius to see that. A casual fan can see that. I always say it, and I said it in one of my past film studies. You can erase Deontay Wilder from that fight, that second fight with Tyson Fury, and just watch Tyson Fury move around the ring. You seeing this man, you know, he's fainting. He's jabbing upstairs, downstairs. He's throwing combos. He's going down to the body. Good footwork, properly balanced. You know, you can see his mentality is right. And then if you erase Tyson Fury and see Deontay Wilder, you see a deer in headlights. You see Bambi on ice, not properly balanced. No fundamentals, no strategy to his game, no substance in anything he's doing. I'm not saying that because I hate Deontay Wilder. I'm saying that because that's what I just see from a technical perspective. That's just what I see. But you know, I will give Wilder fans a W on this one. There is something very concerning that Tyson Fury kind of alluded to. Oh, well, he can knock me out or I can knock him out. He just didn't seem there. What reason that is, I don't know. Maybe that was just a mental lapse. Maybe he was disappointed Wilder didn't join the press conference. Maybe he was bored. Maybe he's just sick of this shit. It's the third fight. He wants to move on to bigger, better things. And he's just like, yeah. Oh, he can win or I can win. You know, it is what it is. Because I will say this, throughout the press conference, he seemed short with his answers. He just seemed like, over it. I'm ready to get this over with. I'm bored with these questions. And he also did say, I'm hoping this man will give me a challenge this time. Because he did legitimately seem bored in the press conference. Like, dude, I hope this guy gives me a fight because I want a challenge. And you know he's up for the challenge because he got knocked down multiple times in the first fight, got back up and won. And then the second fight, he completely dominated. So maybe this is just a simple case of, you know, I'm bored here. I want a challenge and I'm over this stuff. I want to move on with my career. I want to be undisputed. And I'm just trying to get this dude out of my face. But I'm not going to gloss over what he said because it is concerning. So will he get knocked out? I'm going to say no, you guys. Knocked down is another story. He could get knocked down, but knocked out, I don't think so. At the end of the day, I don't see what Deontay Wilder is going to be able to do to beat this man. The only way Deontay Wilder can beat Tyson Fury is if he knocks him cold out. He deads him. It's the only way. Because he's shown, even if you knock him down, and even if you put his lights out, he's going to wake up and he's going to get back in the fight and outbox you. And he's shown in the second fight, now he knows how to beat you and he's not even going to give you anything. It's hard for me to pick Deontay Wilder, even if there is a mental lapse, and there may be. So the question I ask is, Tyson Fury mentally prepared for this fight? I'm going to say he might not be. He might not be 100%. That doesn't mean he needs to be 100% to win the fight, but he may not be all there mentally. He may be bored, or maybe he's worried. Maybe he's worried that the adjustments Deontay Wilder is going to bring in the fight are unpredictable, and who knows if he'll be able to do anything, or maybe Deontay Wilder will present an issue. So maybe he's a little bit more tentative here. He's like, I don't know what to expect in this third fight, so I can't sit here and convincingly give y'all a prediction on if I'm going to knock him out or not. Maybe he just has that much respect for Deontay Wilder. But at the end of the day, I can't pick Wilder, you guys. I got nothing against him, but I can't pick him. He is not the best. He's not the better boxer. He's not. But he will have a chance to prove that. And when I'm in a situation, you know, to where it's just like, well, let's take this for instance. We have Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant can present some issues to Canelo. I do. I think he's got some attributes that can make it an interesting fight. But at the end of the day, when I look at the situation, I can't see how Caleb Plant is going to beat Canelo Alvarez. I don't see enough to convince me to say I'm gonna pick this dude, Caleb Plant, over Canelo, one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world and a phenomenal boxer. I can't. And the only way I'm gonna be a believer is if Caleb Plant goes in there and proves me wrong and proves everybody else wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll get on every panel. I'll make my video and I'll say I was wrong. This dude is the real deal. And I'm very impressed by his boxing ability. Same thing with Wilder. I'm looking at as much as I can, you guys, with what I have and what I know in the past fights with Fury. And I don't see it. I just don't see how this man is going to beat Tyson Fury, who's a better boxer. The only way he's going to make me a believer, and the only way I'm going to sit here and be convinced is he actually has to go in and do it. And I think that's fair. And once again, if he proves me wrong, I will let everybody know I was wrong. But even that being said, that doesn't mean I still can't be critical if he doesn't really improve in terms of boxing skills, but he lands a good right hand, times it perfectly, and knocks Tyson Fury out and wins. That doesn't mean I'm still not going to have my questions about him moving forward. But if he goes in there and he's moving off the back foot, he's moving laterally well, he's throwing his jab, mixing it up, going upstairs, downstairs, feinting, and he outboxes Tyson Fury and eventually knocks him out or wins on the scorecard, I'll be like, dude, this dude, wow, what an adjustment. He deserves a lot of props, a lot of credit. He's the real deal. I'll give him his fucking shine. But I just don't see it, you guys. I don't see it. I'm telling you, Wilder fans, explain to me how this man is going to be the better boxer. And not only is he a better boxer, he's a fighter. He's a dog when he needs to be a dog. And he's maybe not the most athletically gifted, even though you can kind of make an argument just because he doesn't look athletic doesn't mean he's not athletic. But he definitely is physically gifted. I mean, the dude's like almost 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, and he moves like fucking Muhammad Ali. It's crazy. Crazy. That's some talent right there. And then you match that with the ring IQ, the skill set, the boxing abilities, and then that dog mentality. How do you beat that if you're Deontay Wilder? And when you face a better boxer, it's usually hard to beat him in the rematch. It's harder. It almost becomes impossible. Like you saw when Mayweather would take rematches, he had you figured out. You took him in a rematch, you may have made it hard for him the first fight, but once he gets you down, he has you down, and you're never gonna beat him. Because once he figures you out, that's it. Same thing with Fury. And I think it's just gonna be the same case here. But we can't sleep. The only reason this fight is interesting because he has that game changer, that right hand of God. And you cannot count out a guy with that type of power and somebody who's willing to fight. You can't. But nobody's telling me how this dude is going to systematically outbox Fury. The reason, what y'all don't understand, what happened in that second fight is Fury figured out this guy can't box off the back foot. And I can get rid of his power if I push him back in a calculated way of pressure fighting. I'm going to cut off the ring. I'm going to jab him upstairs, downstairs. I'm going to throw body attacks to wear him down. You know, I'm going to force him back every time we get in the clinch. I'm going to put all my weight on him as if he's squatting 300 pounds each round. This dude is going to be like, what, 215, anywhere from 215 to maybe 240. I don't think it's going to favor Wilder to put on the weight. It's going to make him, I think it will make him slower, and I think it will affect his cardio in a negative way. But if he comes in light, you know, he's going to get bullied around the ring. But at the end of the day, if I'm Wilder, I come in light, you know. Do what got you to the dance. You're around 215 when you're knocking everybody out. Retain your speed. You're talking, it looks like you want to box off the back foot all night. You know, why not retain your speed, your cardio, your speed for your power, you know, your speed and your lightweight to move around the ring without getting tired quickly. Live and die by the three. You came here at 215. You were knocking people out at 215. You know, live and die by that. You came in heavier last time and you were sluggish. Your punches didn't look the same, and you got tired real quick. So, I mean, I can't see how Wilder wins this fight. But it is concerning that Fury kind of had a Freudian slip and said, well, you know what? I don't know. He may knock me out. I may knock him out. It is what it is. But like I said, maybe I'm reading too much into that. You know, and yes, you see Wilder kind of back to the drawing board. He switched up his trainer, Malik Scott. They're moving around. They're hitting the mitts, ducking, rolling under punches. I don't know if they've been throwing feints in there. But I'm telling you guys, that's fighting off the back foot. That's not something you pick up in a matter. And look, he's going to have the chance to prove this, how talented he is and how smart he is. That's not something I think you pick up in a year or even 2 years. I think that's something you spend a lifetime mastering. At the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, if this fight gets dragged out, we all know what happens. When you're tired and you're in a fight, all that stuff goes out the window. And he's going to resort back to what he knows, which is his original form and original technique. I know Wilder has the ability to step back and time a big right hand, but people are getting it twisted, especially his fan base. They think just because he's shown the ability to step back and then time a good right hand, it makes him this good boxer. And it's just not true. It's just not true, you guys. It's like Anthony Joshua. And look, obviously the guy has some ability, has some technique. You can't get to the top with nothing, but you can, don't get this twisted. You can go really far with a lot of power. If you got devastated, you can go really far with that. And you got to think he's kind of physically gifted in the terms of his range. And the heavyweight division isn't really deep, you guys. They're not the most technically proficient. It's not the most technically proficient division. That's why I think Alexander Usyk's going to cause a lot of problems, especially if he has an iron chin. He's going to be able to withstand those punches and use those boxing abilities to cause some trouble for a lot of heavyweights. But it's not a deep division. But it gets tough when you get to that top tier of top 5 heavyweights or top 10. But, you're a heavyweight like him. You got devastating power. You got a little athletic ability and physical talent. It can take you very far in the heavyweight division. It can take you very far. And I think a lot of Deontay Wilder fans are mistaking that for him being a good boxer. But once again, I'm not saying he doesn't have some sort of capabilities, because I have seen him step back and time a good right hand against Ortiz. But once again, that doesn't make him a sophisticated boxer, just like Anthony Joshua. I think he's just a fundamentally sound Deontay Wilder. He's got some boxing skills. He's got some boxing ability, but he's not sophisticated on the level of an Usyk. He's just not. It is what it is. To me, both of these guys just have to be themselves. Be the seeking destroyers that you are, and ride with that. Ride with it till you die. And maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't work, shake the man's hand across from you and say, you're the better man, you're the better boxer. But you got to understand, when Deontay Wilder gets in there and he has a 270-pound heavyweight who's about 6'7", coming at you, putting pressure, leaning on you, cutting off the ring, it's nice to do all that stuff on the mitts, but how you gonna deal with that when you got a dog in front of you, chomping at the bit? And he has a chance to tie him a good right hand, but here's one of the things I also got to note to a lot of Wilder fans, is the difference is Wilder's right hand is not as effective when he's moving back on his opponent's terms than when he's moving back on his terms. You got to understand, with Ortiz, he wasn't putting pressure on Wilder. At times he would look for the fight against Wilder, but he wasn't putting constant pressure wearing him down. He was boxing in the middle of the ring and allowing Wilder to kind of have space to work with. One of the mistakes Fury, one of the adjustments he made from the first fight is just like, look, I need real estate to work with to pull away from that right hand of Deontay Wilder's. Well, how do I get real estate? I have to be the ring general. I have to push this man back, limit, give myself more space to pull back from his right hand. And you saw it in that second fight. Every time Wilder would shoot that right hand, Fury would use his range, would use his arms to fence back, and he would roll with the right hand and jump out of range. And he was able to do that because he was the ring general. He was putting pressure constantly, cutting off the ring, and he had all the real estate behind him to pull out of range when Deontay Wilder wanted to shoot that right hand. As opposed to the first fight where Tyson Fury was fighting off the back foot, constantly getting backed into the ropes and the corners, and then when Wilder wanted to uncork that right hand, all Fury could do was lower his level, and he would try to duck under that right hand, but all he was doing was lining himself up straight down the pipe for Wilder to come down and shoot that right hand, and he got clipped multiple times and dropped. But that didn't happen in the second fight because he changed the game plan. He realized, this dude, if I be the bully, I can dictate what happens in that ring. I can take his right hand away from him. And once again, it's one thing to kind of time a right hand every once in a while, but he's gonna have to constantly be doing that for 12 rounds or however long he's gonna be in the fight. He's gonna have to be constantly making adjustments. I'm gonna have to L-step off the ropes. I'm gonna have to pivot out. I'm gonna have to throw feints. And it's devastating if he gets in a clinch because Fury's just gonna put all his weight on him. I have to switch it up, jab upstairs, downstairs. And here's the thing, I hear y'all saying, oh, well, he needs to go down to the body more. The only tool I can see Fury really, or Wilder really using to attack the body is his right cross and a jab here and there down to the body. I'm sorry, Wilder's not gonna become a body snatcher in a matter of a year. That takes years to develop, like on a Canelo level. It takes a long time to get that good to where you can rip somebody to body consistently in a boxing match. Deontay Wilder can't fight on the inside. Fury can. And even in that second fight, I saw Fury parrying the jab to the body by Deontay Wilder. Every time Deontay Wilder would come down with a jab to the body, he would parry it. All that Wilder had left was his cross to the body. But, he's gonna have to go down. Wilder's gonna have to go down with the body. He's gonna have to get some respect. He's gonna have to keep Fury off of him. But let's think about this now. Let's say that Wilder makes phenomenal adjustments. Let's say his boxing ability significantly improved. There's still gonna be, Fury still has the ability to box off the back foot. You saw it in the first fight. He'll be able to make an adjustment in the middle of the fight. And okay, this dude, I gotta respect him. I gotta give him a little bit more space. I can't put pressure. He clipped me a few times or he's hit me to the body and it's affecting me. Okay, you know what? Let's make it a boxing match. Let's box in the center of the ring. Fury can fight that way. He won the first fight that way. This dude can constantly make adjustments throughout the fight. And let's say that somehow Wilder makes the right adjustment and his boxing abilities improved. Now he has to make another adjustment. Now he has to find another way to get the upper hand in the fight. If Fury says, you know what, I'm gonna change up my game plan. I'm gonna box off the back foot again. Or whatever the approach is gonna be for him. Then Wilder has to make that adjustment in real time. He's not gonna be able to get out of the ring and go back to the drawing board and come up with a different game plan. Just like Anthony Joshua, he does not have that ability to switch up his game plan in the middle of the fight. He wasn't gonna be able to go from, okay, I'm going into this fight, I trained to fight off the back foot, and now all of a sudden it's not working, and now I need to be front foot heavy. He can't do that. He doesn't have that ability to adjust in real time, the same way I don't think Wilder will have that ability to adjust in real time. So his game plan needs to work, and it needs to work fast. He needs to knock Fury out cold, because if not, even if he does make the right adjustments, Fury's gonna have that ability to flip another switch and fight a different way. He can do that. His boxing ability and skills is on that level. He's a style bender. So this is the way I see it, you guys. I do think Fury may be off a little bit mentally for this fight. And I don't think Wilder is going to knock out Fury. I think Fury has him figured out. And I think he will have the ability to constantly make adjustments. The only way Wilder can win this fight is if he knocks out Fury cold. That's the only way. Because that man is not going to stand down. He's not going to lay down. He's not going to lay down. If you're going to knock him out, knock him the fuck out. So this is what I think. This is what I see based off of my assessment. It's your boy HB. Final round. Get at me, comment below, tell me what you think, like the video, subscribe if you're a new subscriber. Let people know down in the comment section. We're trying to build this family up. It's a new channel. You know, I keep it real here, man. I keep it real, and I said it in the beginning. I'm not always gonna be right about my predictions, but at least it's coming from an honest place. Like I said, I've went to other boxing channels and I couldn't believe, you know, I sit there and I'm expressing my opinion, and because it's not what the majority of people on the chat board want to hear or what the content creator wants to hear, they boot me off. That's bullshit, and nobody should support anything like that in this world of boxing. We already got enough corruption in the sport. We already got enough bullshit, race baiting, and you know, just all types of politics and drama. We don't need it anymore. So don't mean to call out Blue Blood in his channel. I kind of feel bad for doing that. You know, I should have kept that on the low. I don't mean to shit on his channel or anything like that, but at the same time, I am somebody who does call people out on their shit, whether they agree with me or not. It's just, it's not cool, man. So I do apologize. I didn't mean to bring that up in the fucking video, but I'm not gonna make this video again and talk about this and edit it out. It is what it is, man. If people don't like it, you know, come see me. I'm right here. Come talk to me. I'm right here. But I do tend to call people out on their bull, and you know, I'm right here. You wanna see me? Comment me. You know, message me. Do what you gotta do, and we'll talk boxing. Or talk whatever you wanna talk. I'm here. I'm right here. So get at me, y'all.